Alrighty. We are live. Let's share this with the rest of the family. Let's share this with the rest of the family. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. All right, let's kick this thing off. Let's get started. All right, let's start the show. How you guys doing over here on Instagram? We're about to start. We have good audio. Great. We have great audio, and we're about to start in 60 seconds. All right. Hey, what's going on, Eric? I see you, buddy. Nice seeing you, man. Gonna start in 45 seconds. We will be going live. We are live. We will be beginning in 40 seconds. All right, let's get this show started. It is 5 past, and let's begin. Great evening, business owners and managers. Wes Walters here, and welcome to another awesome episode of CX in the Evening. CX in the Evening, not to be confused with CX in the morning, but CX in the evening. I see Miss Naya is in the building. How are you, Naya? On every single CX in the Evening, we bless you with customer service tips, customer experience tricks, and I leave you with gems. And by gems, I mean actionable takeaways that you can implement at the speed of now. Immediately after this broadcast, you'll be able to take what you've learned, sharing it with your team, and making your team and your business better. Who doesn't want to be better? Naya, give me an update. How are those strategies that I shared with you? How are they working? Put them in the chat. Let me know. Have you started implementing them yet? Have you received any pushback? Are they receptive? Give me some feedback, please. All right, let the juggling begin. All right, so today is Hump Day Wednesday. And sorry I wasn't here last Wednesday because I was supporting clients. Again, these shows are free. So whenever a paying client needs me to come into their office and train their managers, by far that rises to the top of the level of importance list. So serving and supporting the clients. When you become a client, I will always serve you first. If I have to choose between doing free stuff and serving you at a world-class level, it would always be serving you at a world-class level. Amazing. We have no pushback yet. Hey, what do you mean? Naya, you are just like my mother. You're like, and hopefully my mother's not watching. I was like, Mom, how are you doing? My mom would be like, well, so far I'm okay. As if she's expecting to not be okay. I think that's a West Indian woman thing. I'm like, Mom, how was your day? Well, so far it's okay. I'm expecting it to go bad, but for right now it's okay. So I was like, Naya, how are things going? It's amazing. No pushback yet, but we're expecting some. Don't put that into the universe, Naya. No pushback. Everything is amazing. Thank you, period. Or full stop in St. Lucia. Full stop, right? All right, let's get right in. So today we're going to talk about, like the topic said, okay, great. Like I said, you're going to really like this one. This one, Naya. You're going to really like this one. This one is customer experience. Great customer experience is invisible. Yes. It's like magic. Like it happens under the radar and they never even see it coming. That's what we're talking about. It's like magic. We're going to call this one customer experience. Great customer experience is invisible. Hashtag invisible. Hashtag magic, right? All right, great. So let's go. So what do you mean by great customer experience is invisible, Wes? Of course, if you've been watching the channel long enough, you know that good is the enemy of great. We don't do anything good over here. Everything we do is great, exceptional, fantastic, amazing. We don't even have the word good in our vocabulary. So great customer experience is invisible. What do you mean, Wes? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's take, for example, so I live here in Atlanta, in Georgia, right? And the power company that we have, one of the biggest power company is called Georgia Power. Now, if you live in Alabama, it's Alabama Power. I think if you live in the Carolinas, it's Carolina Power. Or in Mississippi, it's Mississippi Power. But here, so I think they're just one big company, but they're divided or separated silos by states. So in Georgia, it's Georgia Power. If you live in Mississippi, it's Mississippi Power. If you live in Alabama, it's Alabama Power, right? So anyway, so if you don't live in the South, you're a utility company. Let's just call it your utility company. Your utility company got 20% of battery. Can we make it with this iPhone? See, I can't trust iPhones. Androids, 20%. You can go all day on 20% with a iPhone. With the iPhone, I really don't know. So I don't want to take that chance. Let's plug this fruit phone up. You know, the fruit phones, you can't trust them. Android, I could go all hour with 5%, but let's just be safe. All right, great. So now we don't have to worry about the battery dying. All right, in South Carolina is Dominion Energy. All right, cool. Dominion Energy. In other parts of Atlanta, it's forget the name. Regardless, when I was living in Decatur, my power company it wasn't Georgia Power, it was another company. But anyway, we're gonna just replace the name Georgia Power with utility company. All right, so my utility company and myself, we don't have a written contract, but we have an agreement. The agreement is I pay them money, and anytime I turn a switch up, it's like magic. I told you we're going to be using the word magic a lot. Light just comes on. It's like ton magic. I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't matter. Look at this. Can you see this? Boom. It's like magic, right? So that's the agreement my utility company and I have. And it's like magic. Now, it's seamless. It's effortless. And it goes totally unnoticed to me, the customer. Meaning, so I don't even, on a daily basis, I think about coffee. On a daily basis, I think about pens. On a daily basis, I think about lip balm for chapped lips, right? But never do I think about my utility company on a daily basis. Now, the utility company makes all of this possible. If there wasn't a utility company, of course, I could go live on my phone, but I couldn't go live on the computer here on Facebook or on YouTube. So the utility company makes this all possible. However, I don't even think about them. You're like, Wes, I can see the creative gears spinning right now, Naya. You're like, he has a point. Something is vital, and I don't have gas anymore. I have my entire home is electric. So the utility company back in the day, if you didn't have electricity, You can still cook if you have gas. Not back in the day. Some people who have gas, if there's no power, at least you can still cook. Me, if there's no power, game over. I can't cook, can't do nothing. So you think about something that's so vital to running this household, and I don't think about it at all. That's how you want your customer experience to be. You want it to be under the radar. This is where their level of consciousness is. Your clients, their level of consciousness is here. And you want to be right here, just gliding away. That's what the utility company does. Because how is it that they're so vital to everything that happens in this household, yet I think about lip balm on a daily basis, but I never think about my utility company on a daily basis? Here's why. Because, like I said, the experience that they provide, it's seamless, it's effortless, and it goes totally unnoticed to the customer and me, unless, drum roll please, unless. We're going to get to unless in a second. When service is delivered flawlessly, there is no frustration, none. There is no delays, unless there is an outage, there is a problem, there is a service failure. So that's what you want your customer experience to be. You want your customers to not even know you exist. Like in anybody has been to Houston? Houston gets really hot in the summertime, right? So Houston, underneath the city of Houston, there are all these walkways that people are conducting business. Like the real hustlers are hustling down there, making money. But above ground, you can never tell. You can't tell underneath Houston, there are walkways. It's almost like everybody's been to Disney World, right? It's like Disney World. Because I mean, most people, you don't see this as a customer by design, but beneath Disney World, there are tunnels. There's an entire ecosystem, an entire world underneath Disney World. And that's by design. They want to be able to move packages, move employees, get things done without taking the magic. Here's the word again, magic, away from that little girl who's been praying all her life to see this Disney princess. That's how you want your customer experience to be, underneath the radar, so they never even know it exists. Like Naya said, unless something goes wrong. It's like it's so flawless that unless there's a breach in the contract, unless I don't give them money, the only time Georgia Power know there's a problem is that if I don't give them the money that's owed. The only time they think about Wess Walters is that when Wess Walters' bill is due and it's not paid. That's the only time they think about me. The only time I think about Georgia Power is when I turn the magic switch up and light doesn't come on. I'm like, what's wrong? I know I paid my bill. There must be a transformer down. There must be a tree on a line. There must be something that's wrong. That's the only time I think about Georgia Power. However, they are vital to everything I do in this house. But the customer experience is done so well that I don't even think about them. Think about it. Everything I do in this house, if I didn't have power, wouldn't be possible. You ever try reading a book in the dark? You ever tried surfing the internet without, not your mobile device, on a computer without the door? You ever tried to turn it on a computer without electricity? It doesn't work. So let's land this plane right now. So Wess, how does Georgia Power do it? How does your utility company do it? How does your cable company do it? How does your fill in the blank do it? Well, how they do that is with systems, the S word, systems. Yes, Georgia Power anticipates, they utilize what's called anticipatory service. They are able to anticipate the needs of their customers. Now, of course, I don't know the application of the software that Georgia Power uses, but you can use your own. smaller version of that. They have services and systems in place to anticipate what the customer is going to need before the customer needs it. How do they do that? They can look back a year ago on February 12th, 2024. It was just about the same temperature last year. And because it was cold as hell in Atlanta, the kilowatts went up because you're going to need more kilowatts. Do you think I know when Georgia Power or when my utility company increases my kilowatts? Naya, just give me a type of why if yes, and for, do you think I know when Georgia Power increases the kilowatts in my house? I don't, because the customer experience is it's so good, it's invisible. Now, in the summertime, when all the kids are home, when everyone has their AC blasting, Georgia Power, my utility company knows that in the summer months, more people use electricity because kids are home, some moms are home, and it's hot in Atlanta, and people are running more appliances. So usage goes up. My utility company has the data. They already know that. So they boost the kilowatts. Do I know that's happening? No, it's happening under the radar. Again, great customer experience is invisible. Now, am I happy that they do this? Of course. Or do you think I would prefer them to give me a call every time? Oh, it's July and there's going to be a peak. Mr. Walters, is it okay if we boost your kilowatts? Of course not. I don't want to hear that. I want them to do this and make executive decisions on my behalf without me even knowing. All I want to do is when I turn that magic switch on, when I do this, the light comes on. If that continues to happen, I will continue to not think about my utility company. If I continue to pay my bill on time, they will continue to not think about Wess Walters. That's how great customer service is invisible. Wes, is there more? Of course there's more. I always over-deliver. Of course there's more. So in addition to applying systems, they resolve the issues, or part of the system is that they resolve the issues before they arise. So oh my goodness, I am the cool dad again. Ronke is in the building for CX in the evening. Ronke is in the building. Give it up. How are you, my dear? Again, how do they do this? In addition to the systems, they have resolved the customer's issues before they even know there was an issue. Before I knew that there was going to be an increase in usage, Georgia Power, my utility company, knew ahead of time, and they're like, let's fix this for you before you even know there was a problem. Before power goes out, there's a transformer down. No, we're going to boost kilowatts before you even know you needed it. We know in the summertime or in the wintertime when it's cold, you're going to be running your heat all day. We know you need more kilowatts. We're going to do that for you without you even knowing it existed. That problem existed. How does that relate to me, Wes? I don't own a utility company. Well, I'm glad you asked. There's a concept in supply chain called JIT. JIT. It stands for just in time. So how does that work? You own a restaurant. You know it's Mother's Day. You know it's Valentine's Day is coming up. Valentine's Day is coming up. The last two Valentine's Day, 2 Valentine's Day, because you have data, you're tracking this data in Data We Trust. The last 2, 3 Valentine's, the last 5 Valentine's Day, for the last 5 years, Valentine's Day at your restaurant was packed. For the last 5 years, most people, 70% of the customers ordered the salmon. Now, this Valentine's Day, which is 2 days from now, you don't wait to run out of salmon, because you have all the data that says for the last 5 years, for the last 5 Valentine's Day, the salmon was a hot seller. Could it possibly be that this year as well, the salmon is going to be a hot seller? Ding, ding, ding. Yes. So just in time, you utilize it just in time. You plan ahead. You make sure that you have more salmon than you need. Again, there's systems for this. You're not guessing. If you're guessing, you're pissing in the wind. And you all know when you piss in the wind, the piss comes back on. Not that I've ever done that. I've never pissed in the wind. But what I've heard is that if you piss in the wind, it comes back on you. That's what happens when you're making decisions without data. But if you have the data, you know, hey, we can say for the last five Valentine's Day, the restaurant was packed. And the data says 76% of our customers order the salmon. What should you as a business owner do? You should make sure that you have salmon. And that's called, again, just in time. It doesn't require you to fill up your warehouse with salmon. No, it's just in time, because you order it only when you need it, just in time, hence the name. And it would behoove you to have it here on Thursday for Valentine's Day on Friday. So again, these systems, anticipatory service, and again, resolving the customer's issue before the customer even knows they have an issue. That's how you deliver great, amazing customer experience. So, to land the plane again, great customer experience, a great customer experience is invisible. Yes, the customers doesn't even know that you're working that magic on them. All they know is that they're happy. All they know is that every time they turn the switch on, the light comes on. It's like magic. Like, oh my God, it's magic. What is it about? See, when you turn a switch on, you don't see all of the wires that go through the walls that connects to the poles and the poles that connect to the transformers. You don't see that. All you see is magic. And that's how you want when you're delivering your customer experience, you want the customers to be like, it was magic. It was magical. How do you describe your experience? Magical, amazing, stupendous. Oh my God, I'm lost for words. That's how you want your customers to describe your customer experience. If they say it was good, you have failed. Let me say that again. If your customers describe their experience as good, you failed. You've dropped the ball. You are under siege. Your competition is right there, right on your ass. You want them to be like, oh my God, I have never had salmon like this. What is this? Salmon from the Nile River? It's like, where did they get that? Is this Moses salmon? This must be salmon of Samson. This is the Samson salmon. That's what you want them to say. Like, it was that good. Like, oh my God. That's what you want them to say. If they say it was good, you failed. You want them to say this was amazing. You want them to use the adjectives, like I said before, amazing, excellent, fantastic, superb. Superb. I had a client one day. Funny story that I'm going to add. I had a client one day, and English was her third language. So in her defense, she's a polyglot, right? I said, how I was asking her for feedback about the training. And she said, Walter, she used to call me Walter. She said, Walter, it was super B. It's like, it was super B? Like, what does that mean? It was super B. It was super B. And immediately I was like, oh, English is her third language. You mean it was superb? She was like, yes, it was super B. I'm like, the way you pronounce that is superb. Hey, so yeah, you want your customers to describe your customer experience as super B or superb. All right. So that concludes this episode of CX in the evening. Not to be confused with CX in the morning, but I think next week I think I'm going to start oscillating morning, evening. So tomorrow, next Wednesday, is going to be CX in the morning, unless that changes. But yeah, I'm glad. Thank you guys for coming in and hanging in with me. Naya, as always, continue to implement that list that I gave you, and it will do really good things for you and your organization and your team, making you and your team better. So there you go. That's it. So take what you've learned, Naya, add in more homework to your list. Think about, what can I do to make what we do invisible? What can I do as a manager, as a boss, as a CEO? What can I do to make what we do totally invisible, where it's under the radar and our customers are not even aware of it? They're just like the norm. Here it is. Here's the superpower in this. When you do that, the customers think all businesses do that. And they're hugely disappointed when they go out into the marketplace and they realize, like, oh my God, nobody else does it like them. I'm going back to them. When you raise the bar so high that customers think that's the norm, when they leave under your care and under your tutelage and they go out into the real world and they realize that, no, this is not the norm, what do? They come running back. You're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Mr. Walters. That happened to me so much. Customers are like, we can't afford you anymore. We can't afford you. John is going to do it for cheaper. Like, okay. 6 months later, oh my God, Mr. Walters, oh my God, save us. And of course, when they come back, it's a premium. It costs them more. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be a choosy Susie, let me don't talk about the PI game, but in the game is, if you're going to be a Susie choosy, the fee when you come back, it's more. So when clients go, they're always welcome to go. But when they come back, yesterday's price is not today's price. And they come back, and then it's a benefit for both of us. They get the service they need, and I get more money. It's a win-win, and that's how you want. All right. So Naya said, exactly, I'm on it. I do a little bit, but I can do more. That's the attitude. Naya, knowing that you can do more. Naya is talking about the principles of Kaizen, meaning not making amazing, big, grandiose changes, but making small incremental changes every day. And when you look at it over a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day quarter, you say, oh, I see the improvement. And that's what you want to do. All right, listen, it was a pleasure serving you guys again. If you ever need help with anything customer experience, like Naya did, shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM on any platform, preferably Instagram, but DM anywhere. And someone, if I don't shoot me any pictures, because I'm not the one monitoring my inbox. Sometimes my assistant monitors my inbox. So it needs to be about business. Please, only business. Don't send anything else except business to my DMs, because other people monitor my DMs for me because the business is growing and scaling. So you've been warned. Okay. But anyway, listen, you guys have an amazing rest of the evening, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday for another awesome episode of CX in the evening, or maybe CX in the morning. Peace. Thanks for joining me. All right. Take care.